Hey, what's up guys, it's Massleaf here, back to do another Kane's Wrath video commentary. It's not going to be a first person video this time, it's just going to be a regular old VOD. And today we have bike-RUsh+ownz playing as the random in red, while Dutch coming back in this game playing as the ZOCOM. And more first person videos are on the way. I have heard your feedback and it seems like you guys want to see more of that stuff, so I will be posting much more first person video content. But as for now, it's going to be a VOD between Dutch and bike-RUsh. bike-RUsh had gone with random. As you can probably notice by the player status screen, I was actually observing this game, but it was so long ago that I forgot what happened, and I often just tab out, or since I'm in windowed mode while observing, I just do other things like search the web. So wasn't paying attention to this game fully here. And we have Rifleman Squads for Dirty Dutch. Seems like he's going to go for a spike. And bike-RUsh+ownz, he's going for a spike as well. He's got 2 Cabal Squads and an Engineer. How will this fare out against 4 Rifleman Squads? He's going to be able to overwhelm this squad here. And likewise for this one as well, bike-RUsh is going to lose this Saboteur. Most likely he's trying to make this Saboteur run for his life, but is it going to be enough? bike-RUsh, he's going to be affected by the hallucinogenic grenades, but he's going to get the Engineer and securing a nice heads up there. Dirty Dutch able to secure 1 Tyrone spike, while bike-RUsh losing an Engineer. Here comes a Raider buggy for bike-RUsh. Is he going to be able to intercept this Engineer of Dirty Dutch before he captures that spike? Most likely not. And he's got this Raider buggy here for no reason at all. He could use it to scout Dirty Dutch's base in case he's going for some kind of rush to follow up his early advantage, but I doubt that. Dirty Dutch will probably go for an eco boom. He's training harvesters. He's going for those refineries as well, so he will have his 5 and 2 up most likely here. The same for bike-RUsh+ownz, who seems to have not gone for any sort of rush, surprisingly. bike-RUsh+ownz, knowing him, he would have gone for an all-in most definitely by now, but this game he's playing a bit more differently. Gonna play safe and just go for his eco boom. He will be slightly behind of Dirty Dutch, since the Dirty Dutch did manage to secure that Tyrone spike, and since ZOCOM in 1.02 plus are not nearly as bad as 1.02, since obviously their Predator tanks have been unbugged, the veterancy issues, and also the harvesters. In 1.02, ZOCOM harvesters were actually slower than GDI vanilla harvesters, so that was a minor inconsistency there, and that resulted ZOCOM having a much weaker economy in most games. So bike-RUsh+ownz expanding here, drafting Cabal Squads. It seems like he's drafting Cabal Squads. What's Dirty Dutch up to? He's training Pitbulls here. He's got Pitbull streaming through the map. Actually, he's got 5 already going towards bike-RUsh's base, but bike-RUsh, since he's Black Hand, he can draft these Cabal Squads, and he'll be able to deal with these Pitbulls with ease, I'd imagine here. He's trying to go for the harvesters here. He could force bike-RUsh to overspend to defend off against these Pitbulls. Dirty Dutch, as long as he doesn't lose these Pitbulls, he should be alright here. But bike-RUsh, he opted to go for a barracks. They're not sure if he needed to do that. I think Confessor Cabal Squads would be ample to destroy these Pitbulls. He's probably going to draft more turrets here, but Dirty Dutch not going to enter the base. It would be a risky proposition to enter that base, as bike-RUsh will sell a power plant and also a shredder turret and make quick work of those light harassment units for Dirty Dutch. Dirty Dutch going for the economy now. He's got 4 harvesters. He needs to get more harvesters. He's got a total of 5 harvesters now. He needs to train more harvesters. bike-RUsh, on the other hand, he's well ahead in economy. He's way superior. He's got 7 harvesters, and this is not paying off so well for Dirty Dutch going for those Pitbulls. It would have been better off for him to go for economy, but will he be able to get a harvester off bike-RUsh here? He's trying to get it down, but bike-RUsh is drafting these shredder turrets, and this harvester, trying to micro the harvester, knowing bike-RUsh, he will not allow a harvester to fall so easily here. And Dirty Dutch is not going to lose, bike-RUsh is not going to lose a harvester there, saving that harvester of hardly any health. He needs to get some repairs on that harvester so it doesn't work, so it works at full efficiency. bike-RUsh now setting up his economy. Those refineries definitely a bit close to each other. I tell you for a fact that that would get punished in a nod mirror. Dirty Dutch, what's he going for? He's going for a command post. Still 1 spike under his possession. The other one, he's not decided to capture that yet, despite him having map control. He definitely has had the opportunity to capture that spike, but bike-RUsh moving out with the Confessor Cabal squads here, going to try and retake some of the middle of the map with these Confessors, but he doesn't have the Disciple upgrades, so these Rifleman squads will be able to quickly deal with these Confessor Cabal squads. And here comes an Orca Strike. Is it going to destroy Harvester? bike-RUsh realizing that this Harvester is docking, and the Orca Strike barely misses that, actually manages to put a dent in that Harvester there. And here comes some Bloodhounds. Dirty what are you doing? Sending in Bloodhounds straight into Dirty's base. This is going to fail for sure, but he's actually managed to save three of the 4 transports, which is very, very nice there by Dirty Dutch. But still, what's he going to accomplish here? bike-RUsh is going to draft power plants, and he's going to quickly deal with those, and he now has the Disciple upgrade, so he should be fine. What's he going for? He's got 2 war factories here. Helping out those Predators and APCs, I'd imagine he'd go for the AP ammo upgrade, as he is up against Blackhand, and Blackhand with Trav, Blackhand and Trav, you really need to go for those upgrades, as their infantry are very, very powerful and hard to take care of without the upgrade. So we have now mass MCV for bike-RUsh, which is a bit of a problem for ZOCOM, as they have no artillery units, and base defenses are not easy to destroy. You would need to have a lot of units to overcome those base defenses, obviously, since you can't outrange them. He can build Firehawks as his form of artillery to try and destroy those defenses, but it's going to be very, very difficult. It's going to prove to be very, very difficult for Dirty Dutch to break this strategy that bike-RUsh is opting for. And bike-RUsh here, he's going to find units waiting for his expansion here. He may have an obelisk queued. Is he going to drop it? No, he can't, but he can fence his MCV. If it does come under threat of those APCs and Predator tanks, he can shield that MCV and confer it with a bit of more armor. So now Dirty Dutch going to establish his 3rd base. bike-RUsh here, he's got some rocket squads, but against the sheer amount of units that Dirty Dutch has, this won't be enough. This will only buy bike-RUsh some time to get some obelisks up to deal with this forces. And here we go, Orcas by Dirty Dutch. Dirty Dutch not going for the ceramic armor. How many Harvesters was he able to take out there? Not very many, as you can see, as bike-RUsh still has a total of 6-7 Harvesters there. So I think Dirty Dutch only scored 1 kill with those 4 Orcas. Not the most impressive ZOCOM micro in the world, but he was able to do some damage there, and actually almost nailing 2 Harvesters there with that Orca Strike. Dirty Dutch would have definitely been pleased with that if he had killed 2 Harvesters. Dirty Dutch, he's got 2 Harvesters here and a total of 6 Harvesters here. He could transfer one of those to his 3rd base. bike-RUsh, he's on equal terms in terms of economy. He's going for mass infantry. Dirty Dutch now, he's got the map control though. bike-RUsh finally retaking a spike, so he'll have a steady flow of income with that TIE Beam spike. Deploying the obelisks here, so those MCVs finally paying off now. He's going to deploy 3 obelisks at a time. And these APCs, they're going to go straight into the resources. The economy of bike-RUsh+ownz is in extreme peril here. He's probably going to lose a couple Harvesters. These Harvesters are already damaged, and these APCs may be able to take several of them out. And he's going, this obelisk may actually defend off for bike-RUsh+ownz. He may actually destroy all those units before too much damage is done for Dirty Dutch. And look at this heroic rifleman squad inside of this bunker, and oh no, barely gets taken out there by that Disciple squad. Of course, those Disciples, pretty badass. And here we go. Oh, that's such a catastrophic hit there for Dirty Dutch, destroying a total of 3 Harvesters. That could have done even more damage if he had focused better with those APCs. He may have actually destroyed all of bike-RUsh's Harvesters, but the thing is, he does have his Redeemer facility up here, and he's trying to do some damage with some rocket squads. bike-RUsh is being contained throughout the most part of this game, but he's finally able to do some damage here with his infantry, or is he, as there are now 6 hammerheads for Dirty Dutch waiting to destroy these rocket squads. And I'd imagine that bike-RUsh+ownz is going to just train Harvesters and recover his economy now. He needs to do that. And here comes the hammerheads to mop up the remaining infantry, the remainder of the infantry for bike-RUsh+ownz. bike-RUsh, his Redeemer is almost out now. He's still got 3 MCVs. I should think he should be able to push into Dirty Dutch's base. I mean, he could move this MCV and at least try and do some harassment with that there, because he would have the option to place base defenses, and of course he could drop a couple barracks to get those Blackhand infantry out to deal with any kind of infantry in air. And oh no, using the one click, so bike-RUsh scoring just one harvester, actually 2 harvesters there. Nice bit of harassment there. bike-RUsh obviously resorting to the one clicks if he's behind. Surprised that he didn't go for it sooner, but here we go. Dirty coming in with the hammerheads. He's going to get this power plant. Not quite actually. He's going to get the SAM turret though. He's not going to focus down that last turret there. Oh man, there has been a poll on GameReplays.org lately about NOD quad turrets regarding them being fixed in 1.02 plus. At the current time, they're not fixed. They still desync the cane if you upgrade quad turrets, but if they were to get fixed, can you imagine NOD, how much overpowered they would be if these base defenses had a 4th turret, an additional turret, and that turret being on the hub itself, so they're practically invincible. To be honest, I think that would be just a little bit too overpowered, as at the moment GDI and Scrin players can focus down these very, very weak turrets and nullify the anti-air capability of these base defenses. But if they were upgraded with quad turrets, then you would have the 4th turret which would need to go down by focusing down the hub, which isn't ideal. So here we go, we've got 2 shadows and a Marv for Dirty did not notice the Marv coming out here. And here's the shockwave for Dirty Dutch. He's going to try and get the Redeemer of bike-RUsh. bike-RUsh unable to do anything here. Dirty Dutch should definitely put his full attention on this Redeemer and try and destroy it or inflict some serious damage here. Beam cannons for bike-RUsh. bike-RUsh has the ideal counter to this Marv. And another obelisk comes up. 3 obelisks here for bike-RUsh and beam cannons. This is absolutely catastrophic here. He could charge up this obelisk of light just to increase the maximum range of this obelisk and rate of fire. That would help him immensely here. He's going to do that now. Realizing at the last minute that he can charge those base defenses up, and Dirty Dutch will escape from bike-RUsh's Redeemer. Not sure if it was a wiser idea of bike-RUsh to not pursue this Marv down, as the Marv is already slower than the Redeemer. The Redeemer can chase this Marv, but when the Marv is on critical damage, then it's easier for the Redeemer just to walk and destroy that Marv with a couple of hits. I reckon he could have afforded to do that. So we have now Dirty Dutch massing mass hammerheads here. He's going for those hammerheads, and he's recovered his economy after that one click. That's really the only bit of economic damage that bike-RUsh has inflicted onto Dirty Dutch throughout this entire game. And he's massing many beam cannons now. So charging these base defenses up, they will of course have a shit ton of range, and he will be able to deal with any kind of epic unit that decides to wander its way into the base here. And it seems like the first super weapon of the day is up for bike-RUsh, and he's now going to start his Nod camp lane and mass these base defenses around it. Of course, Dirty Dutch will have such a difficult time in dealing with that here. What's he going to do? He needs to try and destroy this nuclear missile and penetrate bike-RUsh's base before it's too late, before that cooldown reaches 0. And then we can assume that Dirty Dutch will not have any units left. I mean, this nuclear missile, it's an incentive to attack bike-RUsh. At least bike-RUsh, when he's camping, he has something to say, alright, okay, if you don't attack me, I'm going to blow your entire base up. So that's your choice. And I think bike-RUsh is going to just camp here and hope that Dirty Dutch wastes his entire army trying to destroy bike-RUsh. And bike-RUsh, he's got 2 engineers in his Redeemer, so he's looking to make this Redeemer his primary meat shield. And we have a lot of forces here in the corner for Dirty Dutch, and many hammerheads as well. He's got a total of 8 hammerheads there. And the Redeemer, not sure where it's wandering off to. He could use the race generator. That's the most he can do here. And he may actually use it. He's got no flame weaponry in his Redeemer, unfortunately. And here comes the Marv. He'll need to retreat from that. The Marv not receiving full repairs, but at least it's moving a bit faster now than it did. I'd probably like to have put 1 engineer inside of the Marv just to grant it some healing capability without the need of a war factory or rig. But here comes Dirty Dutch's another strike force here. He's got mass hammerheads, mass APCs and predator tanks. He's just completely steamrolling through this base. bike-RUsh is having difficulty with power plants, as these upgraded power plants are extremely weak, and they will cripple bike-RUsh's power after destroying 1 or 2 of them. And this tech center is going to be in extreme danger here. If bike-RUsh has obelisk queued, they will get cancelled if this tech lab gets destroyed. But Dirty Dutch is deciding to just go on a move order here, on aggressive stance. He's quite confident he can destroy this base without any form of micromanagement. The Redeemer has been hit by Shockwave, and he's going to get destroyed by these hammerheads here. Using the Zone Raider drop pod. Not sure if that was worth it, but if he garrisons these Zone Raiders inside the hammerheads, then it's definitely worth it for Dirty Dutch. Those Zone Raider heads are very, very powerful. Here we go. The beam cannons are exposed, but bike-RUsh has some base defenses queued. It seems like he's stored on money just a little bit here. How much harvesters does he have? He's got not much economy going on up in the north. Dirty Dutch trying to destroy the super weapon, but it's not going to really work out for him, or it may do. He's still got quite a few tanks remaining. He's going to try and get out of there, but there's 3 obelisks waiting for him at the exit door, and he's going to destroy all those APCs and Predator tanks. So unfortunately for Dirty Dutch, losing his entire army there, he was able to inflict some damage to bike-RUsh. He did get the Redeemer, and the Marv should be still around here. So the Marv was out of that engagement. Of course, he had too low health to participate in that fight, but here we go. We've got mass Predator tanks. Where the hell did these Predator tanks come from? Dirty Dutch, I'm not sure how you're doing this, but it's definitely working out for you here. And here we got a MCV that will get destroyed, as well as a harvester. The Marv is definitely going to be the dishing out the most of the damage. And bike-RUsh seems a bit desperate, going for the mass infantry spam. These beam cannons should be able to take care of the Marv. Not sure what he can do about the aircraft and Predator tanks. He could deal with that with infantry and SAM turrets here. At least he has the defense advantage. He can place base defenses to deal with the hammerheads. But he's going to try and take out this Marv. The beam cannon is inflicting serious amount of damage onto this Marv, and the Marv was destroyed before it could do any sort of damage. And here comes the Predator tanks. There's just too many Predator tanks here for bike-RUsh to deal with. He's going to be forced to retreat. These beam cannons are going to be extremely exposed to the hammerheads here, and he's going out of the build radius of the MCV. So those beam cannons will probably be sniped down by the hammerheads, managing to nail most of those beam cannons there. So nice work by Dirty Dutch. But the problem for bike-RUsh now is there are a metric ton of Predator tanks in his base. And what is he going to do about it? He's spamming Fanatics. Oh, that is such an epic Fanatic use there. Managing to kill 5 Predator tanks with a handful of those units. Very, very powerful in times like these. And it seems like bike-RUsh is going to be able to hold off. Despite the odds, he's going to be able to hold off against these mass Predator tanks. And that should be most of Dirty Dutch's army all but gone. And speaking of Dirty Dutch, I did not notice this, but he does have an ion cannon here. Managing to save 3 of those hammerheads from the base defenses. So at least he has some units still alive. What's he going for now? He doesn't have much units. He's only got 2 hammerheads, which are in desperate need of repairs, both of which are veterans. So at least he's got some veterancy on those ones, making them a bit more valuable than the base hammerheads. Repairing the super weapon, not sure if it's worth repairing the super weapon, because that thing just will not die anyways. bike-RUsh, he's harvesting some Tiberium there. He's also got some harvesters here. He's getting repairs on that one there, so that's nice work by bike-RUsh+ownz. And seems like Dirty Dutch going for a Marv here, so he's looking to clean up the rest of bike-RUsh with that Marv. Not sure how it's going to work out for him. There are still a few beam cannons remaining, but bike-RUsh is completely oblivious as to what Dirty Dutch is going for. He may think he's going for aircraft, and there we go. We've got 2 firehawks here. Is he going to make it out alive? No! Not sure what they were able to bomb, but they both got destroyed. Not sure if that was worth it for Dirty Dutch, expending those units. Every unit does count in this situation, as there are now no Tiberium for Dirty Dutch to harvest, so he has to make the most of his units here. At least he does have a super weapon, so he can use the super weapon after bike-RUsh's, which has 30 seconds on the cooldown. The question will be, what will bike-RUsh nuke in this game? He could go for the Tech Lab and the Space Command Uplink. That would be what I'd go for, but maybe he'll go for the super weapon of Dirty Dutch, as he does have a few tech structures surrounding it. And of course, if he had a flame tank or 2 around this area, he could nuke the super weapon and also destroy it, as the super weapon is not fenced, surprisingly, so it does have a considerable less amount of hit points than if it was fenced, making it slightly more vulnerable to the flame tanks. So here we've got 2 Firehawks coming in. What they're going to go for? I'd go for this power plant here, Dirty Dutch. Dirty Dutch, what are you doing? Micro there. Oh yes, bike-RUsh able to sell those off immediately, and he's going to lose both his hammerheads. Again, Dirty Dutch, not the most impressive hammerhead micro in the world here, but you have to give him credit for still surviving and doing a ton of damage to bike-RUsh, and bike-RUsh launching the nuclear missile. Where's it going to hit? It's going to hit the It's going to hit the ion cannon, and as you can see, that ion cannon taking a massive sum of damage there, forcing Dirty Dutch to repair his ion cannon. I would just throw down a barracks and repair that straight up to full health, as it's going to cost him a lot more money to use the repair tool instead. Here comes the Marv of Dirty Dutch. Since this is a quadruple zone raider Marv, it's going to be absolutely deadly to infantry. And here comes the hammerheads for reinforcements for Dirty Dutch, and the ion cannon is ready. What's he going to go for? He does have a super weapon at his disposal. Such a crazy game this by Dirty Dutch, able to siege bike-RUsh's base in such a fashion here that's almost never seen of before. And here we go, super weapon for Dirty Dutch, and he's going to get these structures easily. Bam! Gets every single one of those buildings except the Temple of Nod, obviously. Able to sell off a few of those buildings before they got destroyed, so he could claim a Black Hand Squad before it got destroyed there. It's very nice. And here we go, shockwave artillery for Dirty Dutch. Of course, that support power being very useful against infantry, although if you use the scatter move with infantry, you can dodge it to some extent. And this Marv, will it escape the mass infantry here of Dirty Dutch? I don't know. The Marv also harvesting some of that Tiberium, giving Dirty Dutch some much needed Tiberium here. And APC streaming through the middle of the map, but will this Marv survive against this infantry? It seems like the Marv is destroying everything here except the disciples, because those things can suck up so much cannon damage compared to the Cabal members, and those will get destroyed. And the Marv, as a result of that, is going to be promoted straight up to elite. I'd imagine he doesn't have far to go before he's a heroic Marv, and bike-RUsh will have almost no chance of beating that if it does go to heroic. And here we got one hammerhead here. It is elite. I'd probably send this back to base, Dirty Dutch, if you want to keep that alive. He's going to waste it though, wasting that hammerhead there. Definitely not a unit you can afford to waste, an elite hammerhead there. I would have probably sent it back to base and got some repairs on it, just so it had the chance of going heroic. Heroic hammerheads are just so beast. And now we've got 3 harvesters here for Dirty Dutch. He's got nothing to harvest though. He could bring some of his harvesters along to the fight to crush some of his infantry, but I think the Marv here will be all he needs to destroy the remainder of bike-RUsh's infantry. And bike-RUsh, he's out of luck, I think. He's got 3 harvesters here. He's got an MCV. Remember, he is Black Hand, so he does have a chance still, despite being behind. He still has a chance to win this game, but will this Marv escape the infantry? Unfortunately, he does not have any repairs on this Marv, so it will be moving as slow as a snail. And those rocket squads will be fast enough to pursue it down. bike-RUsh has to ensure this time that he splits up his rocket squad so he doesn't take a huge sum of air effect damage from this Marv. And there we go, the Marv going to be shelling these infantry, and he's probably going to get most of them here. Actually, is he going to destroy this Marv? That is the real question. This will be the deciding moment of the game here. Will bike-RUsh be able to destroy this Marv? Meanwhile, what is Dirty Dutch going for? He's going for hammerheads, additional hammerheads here. He's got 3 harvesters. Again, those harvesters pretty useless at this stage, really. The Marv will escape into the corner of the map. Not sure what Dirty Dutch is going to do. He's going to get surrounded by infantry here. And bike-RUsh, what is he doing? He's got a handful of buildings remaining, but the guy with the super weapon is Dirty Dutch, and he is massing hammerheads, and he's got more income as he has a Tiberium spike. Same with bike-RUsh. He's had this Tiberium spike for a long time as well, but Dirty Dutch, since the beginning of this game, has had control of this Tiberium spike. And here we go, the Marv exposing its rear armor to these Cabal squads and rockets, and it's going to get destroyed there. Heroic rocket squad in the process for bike-RUsh+ownz. And here comes the hammerheads for Dirty Dutch. Dirty Dutch is going to be able to clean up these infantry forces, no bothers, and he's going to get every single bit of infantry here, only losing 2 hammerheads in the process, so that's a good exchange for Dirty Dutch. Dirty Dutch definitely has a few structures that you can sell for some much needed money, although these buildings aren't worth much. Selling a refinery will only give you $500. So this game turning out to be much closer than what I thought it would be. The super weapon though does still remain to be under Dirty Dutch's control. And here we go, harvesters being harassed by Dirty Dutch's hammerheads. And these base defenses, obviously, I think Dirty Dutch can target those turrets first before going for the harvesters. He's going for the power plant instead, so wise choice there by Dirty Dutch going for the power plant. He may be able to... what the hell? Did he just repair his power plant up there with an engineer? bike-RUsh, always with a trick up his sleeve. And we've got these 3 hammerheads, which will take out these turrets in a matter of moments, and all these harvesters all of a sudden are exposed to the hammerheads here. But what is Dirty Dutch doing? He's probably focused on elsewhere on the map. He's going for... what's he going for? He's packing up his MCV now. He's got 2 minutes on the cooldown of that super weapon, so we'll have to see if he's going to use that super weapon to seal this game and claim a nice win over Dirty Dutch. But I don't know just as of yet who's going to win this game, as bike-RUsh has a lot of infantry coming into Dirty Dutch's base, and Dirty Dutch only has harvesters. He can at least attempt to try and crush those infantry, but that may be a lost cause. Those harvesters will get destroyed in a matter of moments there. And here we have APCs harassing bike-RUsh's economy. This is bike-RUsh's only source of economy, except the Tiberium spike. He has had that Tiberium spike, and I think that will play the most important role ever in this game. Who will know? But Dirty Dutch, he's moving his Conyard. He can probably house spam his way to victory against these infantry. I mean, he is massing hammerheads. He's got 5 in total now. And bike-RUsh, he's got 3 harvesters here. He's got his tech up now, and he's going for infantry perhaps. Or maybe he'll just go for another power plant. Who knows? Here comes the APCs, and those charged particle beams is definitely not going to be enough against the firepower of 4 APCs. And the ion cannon is going to be so close to firing. It is 1 minute and 8 seconds away from firing. Dirty Dutch massing those hammerheads here. Where is the MCV? MCV is on the move. Where is it going towards? I mean, there is some Tiberium left on this field here, so he does have some Tiberium that he could go for. Base defense is being deployed for bike-RUsh. Is he going to destroy those 2 APCs? He may get both of them here with this single shredder turret, able to claim an APC, so every unit does count in this situation. Mass rocket squads for bike-RUsh heading towards the top of the map here. 30 seconds left on the super weapon here. Is he going to be able to launch the super weapon before the infantry can destroy? Well, actually, I don't know if he'll be able to destroy much, as those hammerheads there are in lethal force. He will be able to take care of those infantry without any problem. But bike-RUsh, he does have his comm center still up. He can place a base defense. If Dirty Dutch decides to engage those rocket squads, then he will make a big mistake and lose most of those hammerheads in the process. So he has to be very, very cautious in this part of the game now. He doesn't want to lose any units here. And here we go, 5 seconds on the ion cannon. What's he going to go for? He could go for the power plant and the operations center. I mean, since bike-RUsh's base is so split up, then I mean, it's so spread out that it's not going to be the best ion cannon in the world, but he will get 2 structures here at least, and as well as the SAM turret. And boom, there goes another ion cannon strike for Dirty Dutch. I believe that's the 3rd super weapon in this game. Such a crazy, crazy game for Dirty Dutch. 2 power plants for bike-RUsh here, powering this single refinery and SAM turret. And this harvester trying to leech some of the Tiberium there, but unfortunately bike-RUsh is not able to harvest that. Dirty Dutch is establishing his economy at this field here. He's got a good chunk of Tiberium there that he can harvest. If he can somehow get 5 and 2 up on this field, then he'll be looking pretty. But here we have 8 hammerheads for Dirty Dutch, and I think he's looking pretty comfortable at the moment. bike-RUsh, he needs to get his economy up. He needs to drop a refinery at this Tiberium field, but instead he's opting to pack up his MCV. Not sure what he's going to do. He's got not much options. I mean, his only option here is to harvest this Tiberium, but perhaps he feels that Dirty Dutch only has a handful of buildings remaining. So Dirty Dutch has made bike-RUsh completely unaware of his expansion here. bike-RUsh is probably he's probably thinking that Dirty Dutch has a handful of buildings remaining, but he'll be wrong, as bike-RUsh Dirty Dutch has way more than that. Going for his 2nd refinery for that 5 and 2 ratio, Dirty Dutch will be harvesting a very, very good economy. He can mass APCs, Predators, whatever, you name it, he'll be able to mass that and completely steamroll bike-RUsh at the moment. But bike-RUsh, he's just being played under the deception that Dirty Dutch has a handful of buildings remaining. He will be able to claim all these buildings here. He may wonder why the hammerheads are not there to defend, and that is because they are at this base here. And Dirty Dutch massing APCs, he only needs to mass anti-infantry counters to bike-RUsh's army, as bike-RUsh only has infantry. He'll only be spamming infantry now. He's got Tib Core, so he can go for Tib Core bikes, but he does not have the income to support that transition. He has to somehow end the game with this infantry, but it's looking highly unlikely for bike-RUsh. And a single Cabal squad here for bike-RUsh to clean up the power plant in the top of the map. He's probably, where is the MCV? MCV, he's barely got enough cash to make a refinery. Dirty Dutch has able to claim a Tibrium spike away from bike-RUsh, so bike-RUsh will not be having enough income to drop a refinery, and the last of bike-RUsh's harvesters will get destroyed there. And here comes a Cabal squad informing bike-RUsh all about this base. He'll know now that Dirty Dutch has a huge base. He's fully established, he's got all the infrastructure there, he's got hammerheads, and I think he'll realize at this point that he does not have much hopes of winning this game. He may actually surrender now, or he could go for more infantry. He'll need more than just infantry to defend off against this army of Dirty Dutch, which is vastly superior at the moment. And as you can see, mass sell-off. bike-RUsh has been defeated there. Dirty Dutch coming out with a very nice victory in that game. Very, very, very well played by Dirty Dutch. Honestly, that's one of the best games I've seen Dirty Dutch play, and I believe that was well worth the VOD, as Dirty Dutch, after that video I uploaded last time, I believe that he needs to get some form of something to boost his ego again, I guess. So we got Dirty Dutch here coming through with a nice victory, having a steady lead over bike-RUsh throughout the most part of that game, but bike-RUsh hanging on there, destroying Dirty Dutch's army time and time again. He was able to almost get the victory away from Dirty Dutch. Perhaps if he made a few better decisions in that game, perhaps if he tried to push with MCVs, and maybe he could have destroyed Dirty Dutch's economy before he had the chance to mass those hammerheads and Marv in the end. So yeah, that was a pretty good game. Many super weapons being fired by both players. bike-RUsh's nuclear missile usage was questionable, as he only got a few buildings and barely scraped the super weapon of Dirty Dutch. He didn't have the units to support his super weapon and destroy that ion cannon control center, but again, everyone makes mistakes, and that's just how it goes. So yeah, bike-RUsh+ownz losing that game there. Dirty Dutch with a superior income and unit to kill death ratio, obviously, as bike-RUsh+ownz was resorting to infantry throughout that game. So yeah, this is Marsleaf, and if you thought this video was remotely entertaining, then don't forget to like it, and I'll see you guys later.